Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews. The Explorer of Horror here, the Horror Boy, and today we're getting to definitely a very interesting film in the series, and it's a film that actually has a pretty big cult following, especially the producer's cut, and that is Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, which came out in 1995, gets a 4.9 on IMDb, and was directed by Joe Chappelle. Now, Halloween 6, this is the one where it really, storyline wise, is in a really rough spot because these filmmakers had to wait, what was it, 89, 95 to get somewhat of a good, just to get a script made to follow up Halloween 5 script. And this is the movie that really goes into the Thorn stuff. And there are fans of this one, like big fans of it. Like, I think the movie is okay. I think it's a lot better than Halloween 5. But it still has some problems to it. Like, still a decent amount of problems. That's why I can't really say it's a great Halloween movie. But at the same time, it's not one of the worst ones to me. I mean, it's a weaker one. Like, it has a lot of bad stuff in it. But for me, it's an okay entry. Especially when you compare it to Halloween 5. It just has some of the same problems. And especially the Thorn stuff. But at least it has some awesome stuff in it, which I'll get to. But yeah, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. This is not the only version of this movie. There is also a producer's cut of this film, which is a very popular version among the Halloween fan base. And I have never seen the producer's cut ever. Maybe after I'm done doing the reviews, I'll go back and review the producer's cut. We'll see how that goes. If I can find some way somehow to watch the producer's cut, I'll watch it. But yeah, I mean, this movie, to me, okay, so the storyline starts out, you have Jamie, played by a different actress in this film, and she is in this weird underground place, and she's giving birth to a baby. She gives birth to her baby, and this Thorn cult, I guess, curses the baby, because it has the bloodline of Michael Myers, and pretty much Jamie's character escapes. This time she's played by J.C. Brandy, which she didn't do a bad job. She wasn't in the movie that much. But she gets out of there, escapes with her baby, because this nurse helps her get out of there. And Michael Myers is trying to kill her. And some great chase scenes happen, where she's running out of there, the music's playing. And, the nurse that helps her ends up getting killed, and so does some other person. Jamie goes to this barn area to hide from Michael Myers, but meanwhile she's also calling this radio station that Paul Rudd is listening to. Paul Rudd, of course, is from a lot of movies. This is his first main role, is in this film. I believe it's in this film. And he's going to be in, plenty of great comedies and great films, like Ant-Man, Avengers. He's been in a lot of great stuff. He's going to be in Ghostbusters. So, Paul Rudd definitely had his big start with this movie. And he plays Tommy Doyle. And Tommy Doyle is listening to this radio broadcast. And so is Donald Pleasance, which comes back. And the final time in this movie, this is his last film from Donald Pleasance. This is his last film. They even have during the credits in memory of Donald Pleasance, which is pretty cool. And Donald Pleasance in this movie does a fantastic job as Loomis, delivering a great performance and doing awesome as far as acting goes, doing amazing. And rest in peace to him. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, he played Loomis. He's played plenty of great characters throughout the years. I just think that Donald Pleasance is one of the most legendary actors of all time. And they overhear Jamie. She calls into this radio station. They overhear her talking. They both hear it. And Jamie leaves. She ends up getting killed by Michael Myers, but she hid her baby in this kind of train station. And then the movie kind of focuses on Tommy Doyle, and he's obsessed with Michael Myers. He is trying to figure out this Thorn stuff, and and then you have the Strodes, which is the family to Jamie Lee Curtis's character from the first movie, Laurie Strode. I believe it's the uncle to her, and they moved into the house that I think Michael Myers was. I think that's the Myers house is in Halloween 6 that they move into. They move into there. Michael Myers comes and tries to look for the baby. He's also going to murder anybody in that house. And Paul Rudd finds the baby, kind of protects the baby. And the lead girl from the other house, Kara, played by Maureen Hagen, she's our second lead. Her and Paul Rudd kind of work together to fight back against Michael Myers. People get killed until it's just her and Tommy, and she gets kidnapped by the Thorn Cult, and so does the baby. And Donald Pleasance and Tommy go to look for the cult, and they go to this underground area where pretty much the best part of the movie is, where Michael Myers goes in there and starts killing people left and right, and it ends up being Tommy Doyle just beating the crap out of Michael Myers at the end of the movie, to where you think he's dead, but then the mask is just laying there, and you hear Loomis screaming in the background. The movie ends. And to get more in depth into it, I mean, the movie, I think, has a lot of problems. Like, for me, it's mainly the script stuff. Like, the script, the acting is a little rough. This cast, I really didn't care for, to be honest with you. I mean, Paul Rudd is really rough in this film. So is Maureen Hagen. I don't know if it was just them or the script, but the characters were just really rough as far as delivery and as far as dialogue goes and chemistry. Like, they just don't have any chemistry. And nobody in the movie sounds natural, really. It's all kind of sounds... Except for Donald Pleasance. Donald Pleasance is, like, the only guy in the movie that delivers, dialogue that sounds legitimate. Everybody else just seems monotone or really just overacting a little bit. It's like everybody, the whole cast that read this entire script was just like, maybe it was just the way that it was done, but it was just overdone. So that's problem number one is the cast. Problem number two is the script, because you have the Thorn plot line, which I think is a dumb plot line. I'm really not a fan of it. Some are. It's got a big following. I'm not. I think the plotline is really, really stupid. I mean, you've got cults in this movie that look really, really bad, and these druid-looking people come in and kidnap the baby and kidnap the Kara character and kidnap her son. And it's like, it's so weird how it happens, because Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance are there. The kidnap scene happens, and then they're just like, oh, we gotta go find them. I'm like, so they didn't even try to stop them? Because Tommy Doyle and Loomis are at the house. And then you found that this guy from Halloween 5 showed up in this movie as well. That's another problem. You had the mysterious, what they was going for, the twin brother to Michael Myers, but in this movie, it's a character named Dr. Wynn, played Mitchell Ryan. And he's actually this guy who, I guess, is the controller, the puppet master of Michael Myers, can control him to go and do whatever he wants. And he's pretty much that guy from that movie. And that character also shows up in this film and pops up in and out of the film. And I really didn't care for that. I really didn't care for the Thorn stuff and the cults. And like I said, that kidnap scene is like that Tommy and Loomis are at the house. Then you see the cult people kick the door in, then it fades away. And the girl goes, oh no! And then it fades away. And it's just like, so Paul Rudd, nobody tried to stop them? And then it cuts back and they're like, oh, we gotta go to this place and find them. I'm just like, why didn't you guys stop them when they were kidnapping them? I get it, there was a lot of people there, but you're going to their base. Or they're not their base, but they're like their main area where they all meet up at. I'm like, wouldn't you expect even more of them there? It's just weird how that was done. And there's a lot of stuff like that in this movie. A lot of, like, stuff in the plot doesn't make sense. Like a blood trail, a very obvious blood trail in this train station, or whatever it is, that Paul Rudd is at, and he follows it to a bathroom. He's the only guy who notices this blood trail, and he finds the baby in there. And I'm like, so you're telling me nobody ever noticed that blood trail and nobody ever found the baby? It's like, that's just, it's too far-fetched. There's also a part where a guy gets killed and put into a tree, and Michael Myers puts these, like, you know, light bulbs or whatever around him. I'm like, nobody see Michael Myers putting this guy's body into a tree? So it's like some really, really, like, stuff that's like doesn't make sense sometimes, and that happens a lot in the movie too. And I know at this point in the series, I mean, the production was really crazy. You had the producer's cut, which is a total different thing. You know, different filmmakers wanting different visions, and different parts of the cast wanting different visions, different cuts, and not really a cast, but you know, the whole crew and stuff like that. People wanting their own cuts. The studio getting involved, really cutting it down, and really wanting to make it more of a simple. It's like they wanted to introduce a very complex plot, but simplify it. You really can't do that. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this movie that get answered in the producer's cut, supposedly, but in this movie alone, the Thorn plot, I just thought didn't need to be in the movie. You know, you just didn't need it. Because ultimately, it's useless. Ultimately, it is useless. Think about it. Michael Myers kills the entire Thorn cult. So I'm like, you have Halloween 5 in this movie, build this Thorn cult up, only for them to get killed in this movie, and Michael Myers to just be on his own again. So then what was the point of introducing the fucking Thorn cult if he just kills them all? I don't understand it. And I don't like the idea of them trying to explain Michael Myers' background. I mean, this is really the first, I don't know if 5 really touched on the origin of Michael Myers, but this movie really did. It tried to say, oh yeah, the Thorn, the constellation, the stars, and in 1978 was the constellation, the stars, and then in 1988 the constellation came back. It's just like, that's just stupid. To me, it just sounds stupid. And them saying how there's this bloodline, and Jamie's baby is the last of the bloodline, and the Strodes as well, and Michael Myers must kill them, and then the Thorn curse is removed. Some crap like that, and it's like, this is a stupid ass plot. That's the thing, man. It's an okay movie, but it has a lot of problems with the script and stuff like that. There's parts of it that really don't make sense, that have a lot of holes. Like, this kid character sees the guy in the black trench coat, and Dr. Wynn's character, I'm just going to say that. He sees him. They're trying to make him the next Michael Myers. Why? I don't know. It's not explained in this version. Other than saying, well, one day he shall carry the Thorn curse. I'm like, why him? Is it because he's a Strode? Like, why is he going to carry the Thorn curse? Like, that doesn't make no sense to me. And it doesn't matter because the whole cult got killed. And they did. In a very awesome way. But then it made everything pointless. Like, okay, so now what the fuck was the point of the Thorn plot? But besides that, like I said, the script, some scenes really don't. And also, I like the lighting. I like the way the movie looks. It has a great dark atmosphere to it. But some scenes just feel off. Like, some scenes look beautiful, look great. Lighting's great. Some scenes look like MTV movie, TV movie type stuff, with the way that it was done. You have a really bad soundtrack in this movie with the guitar and stuff like that. It sounded awful. And there's a really annoying sound that plays whenever Michael Myers walks into a room, whenever Michael Myers is around. This guitar noise it was annoying. It happens every time Michael Myers is around. I don't know why they did that. So the score sucked. The acting pretty much sucked. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I can't say it sucked, but the acting was rough. Except for Loomis. Loomis, Donald Pleasance did a great job in this movie. But everybody else is a little rough. And I don't think it was their fault. I think it was the script. Because once again, the script was being changed a lot. And being rewritten and stuff like that. And it really chaotic production. Like this and 5, and you can even say 4, really chaotic production. Like, they were really fast-paced. go go go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Even H2O to a degree, but even H2O kind of had more of a let's go into it and actually make a script and then go into it. But yeah, I mean, the good things though is that it does have a good atmosphere. A lot of orange, red, blue lighting, which I thought was beautiful. The movie looks great. You got George P. Wilbur coming back in this movie playing Michael Myers, and I thought George P. Wilbur did a great job playing Michael Myers once again. And I'll say it again, very underrated Michael Myers. But I thought in this movie, Michael Myers also as a character, like a standalone, like you're just basing Michael Myers alone in this movie. Michael Myers is like done amazingly well in this movie because he is not that ominous dark guy, but he is this just ruthless killing machine in this movie that cannot be stopped. And they really sell it in this movie. Like, they sold it pretty good in Halloween 2, and then they tried to in Halloween 5 and the Rob Zombie movies of making him a brutal... Well, the Rob Zombie movies are different, but in this movie, it was just done very well. I mean, George P. Wilbur, is once again back. The outfit looks cool. The mask, once again, the mask looks great in this movie. I mean, you had 5's mask and 4 and 2's mask. I mean, I don't hate 4 and 2. Like, I don't hate 2's mask. I just don't really like it compared to the first one. And I don't hate 4's mask, but it is a little plain. And then 5's mask is just awful. But this movie has a pretty cool looking mask, I won't lie. And Michael Myers in this movie is just ruthless. And the death scene as well, it has a really great body count to it. It's definitely more of a slasher film. I mean, you got Michael Myers stabbing people and ripping the knife through them. Like, ripping them out. Like, ripping the knife out of them. It's like, it's brutal. People getting their throats, slit. Jamie's character being put in a corn thrasher and then he turns it on. Brutal scene. The best deaths in the movie is where the guy, the stepdad, or I want to get his name. John Stroh, played by Bradford English. Pretty much his head explodes. That's a really great scene. Because Michael Myers electrocutes him and his head explodes. It's a very, very crazy scene. And I will say it's a very fast-paced movie. I mean, it goes by pretty fast. Has some pretty good-looking effects. Has some good-looking shots, too. Like there's this one scene where this chick is talking about the thorn crab, and when she says, especially the boogeyman, the lightning hits Michael Myers in the window in the background. That was pretty cool. The chase scene, where Michael Myers is chasing the lead through the house to the other house, pretty much an homage to the first movie. I thought it looked very cool, and was done very well. The ending was the best part to me because Paul Rudd goes to where this thorn cult is while Loomis talks to Dr. Wynn. And when he goes there, there's this creepy chick there, and it's just very well lit. And he sees that these people are trying to, like, you see babies in jars and stuff like that, and the thorn stuff. And Michael Myers is just unstoppable in this movie. I mean, there's a great scene where Paul Rudd is trying to unlock this door because the lead girl's on the other side of it, and the Kara character, and he takes this fire extinguisher and is busting the door in, and Michael Myers just walks out of the shadows, looks, and Paul Rudd just like looks in shock, and even kind of like laughs a little bit because he's like, oh shit. And he's busting the doorknob, gets her out of there. It's very well done, and the suspense stuff right there. The third act is definitely very suspenseful. And then they run, and they go to this place where the baby's at, and they're trying to perform this ritual on the baby. And they get the baby out of there. Michael Myers shows up and kills people in a strobe light effect, and it looks cool. He's just stabbing people, ripping people apart. There's this really big, long knife. He just stabs it right into somebody. It's very well done. That was a really cool scene. But the ending is really weak because it's like Paul Rudd just pretty much beats the shit out of Michael Myers with a lead pipe or whatever, then leaves him there, Then you hear Loomis in the background screaming. It's like, really? You end it like that? And I don't know. The very, very ending wasn't really that great to me. But it does look good. Michael Myers in the movie is very cool. You know, putting people's heads on spikes and hanging them on the wall. Just, you know, repeatedly stabbing them brutally. When he stabs them, he rips the freaking knife through them. It's just really brutal stuff. And you know, it's definitely an okay film. I think it's better than Part 5. I don't think it's as, you know, irritating as Part 5 because Part 5 really did all that stuff for no reason. The Thorn stuff. You know, the Dr. Wynn character in that movie, even though it wasn't, we didn't know it was Wynn yet. That stuff was all put in there for no reason. So that was what made that movie irritating. But at least this movie, they tried their best to follow that plot. And it's a plot you can't follow. And that's why H2O was the first one in the series to really restart the series. You know, refresh it. And because you really can't do much after this. But yeah, I mean, it's a fast-paced movie. It does have some cool effects. It's definitely a decent slasher. Michael Myers is definitely intimidating in the movie. He's very well done. The mask looks cool. The film looks cool. It's shot very, very well. Has a good October feel to it. And just overall, it's an okay film. It has a lot of problems with script-wise and you know, characters and Thorn plot-wise. But I think overall, it's an okay film. I don't totally hate it. But yeah, pretty much that's my review of Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this movie in the comments. Hope you guys with the review, and I'll see you guys in the next review. The Explorer of Horror is out. See you guys later. Bye.